So without wasting time, let's just start it with our session. So who am I? So my name is Patel Jay, and I am currently pursuing my third year in a field of ICT from Pandit Dindayal Energy University, and I am also a full stack web developer with an intermediate experience, and I am also a Postman student expert currently. And I love to contribute to communities, so you can also find me around a couple of local and global communities. So that's all from my side. Yeah, so let's just start with the agenda for today's session. Okay, so first we will dive deeply into the API, like what is a API, why should you learn API, or I can say that why should you become API literate. Okay, and how does API is useful in various technologies, and also then we will move forward with the Postman, in which we will see that. Why Postman is used widely to handle APIs. Okay, then we will move forward to bit of technical topics of API like request response cycle and many other things. Then we will have one hands-on session on Postman in which we will handle one API which will be of your choice. Okay, so I will give you out option and you can choose any of the API you want to try out. And then we will have a follow-up resources. Now at this point you would have some basic knowledge of API and a Postman. So if you want to learn more about the API and Postman, then I will provide all the follow-up resources for you so you can carry forward from that. Then at last we will have a Q&A session for you. If you have guys have any doubt, then you can ask in that session. And also to reveal one thing that uh, stick to this meeting up till the last, because in the last I will also share the details from which you can also win a swag from the Postman. Okay, so just stick to with me until the last to get the details of this of that program. So now let's just understand APIs. Okay, so let me just start. Also one thing, the recording is started. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. So let's start understanding API with one simple example. Okay, so all of you would have gone to restaurant in your life. Okay, now what is the process that you follow after going to restaurant? Okay, so the waiter comes to you, you give order to waiter, or waiter write down your order and pass it to the cook present in the kitchen. Okay, so you give the order and waiter passes that order to the kitchen where cook take the order. Okay, now after a waiter passes the order to the cook, cook process the order, or I can say process your food. Okay, make ready a food for you given in the order, listed in the order. Okay, and waiter takes back the cook takes back the food cooked by cook and give back to you. Okay, so similar is a thing with API. Okay, so now understand this thing. There is one client entity. Okay, now client entity can be anything. It can be you can say ATM machine, your mobile phone, your laptop, your desktop, any electronic things. Okay, now what this client entity want, there is a resource or a service, or you can just for this sake you can assume that there is a data which is located in the server. Okay, this which is located in the server. Now what client wants, client wants that data. Okay, client wants that data located in the server, but client and server can't communicate directly with each other. Okay, so what they do, they use API. Okay, they use this API to create a conversation between client and a server. Okay, this is a simple in simple language I can say that. Okay, so API is just like a waiter. What client wants, it convey it to server. Server returns back uh, by processing the demand offered by a client and give back the data or anything that client wants from server back to client side. Okay, this is the use case of an API. Now if you want to dive if I now let's understand the technical definition of an API. Okay, so first of all, API means application programming interface. Okay, and if I want to give a definition of an API in a layman language, then understand that in this way, that API is an intermediary entity. Okay, or you can say the middleman that is used to communicate between a server and a client side. Okay, client and server can't communicate directly with each other, so API is used to establish a communication between these two entities. Okay, now software industry has been grown with a massive has been grown massive in the last couple of years, and it has also become more complex and collaborative. So now if you are a developer and you want to do something, you doesn't have to write the code from the scratch. There will be one developer from one company who have already done the thing you want. Okay, so you can use this the thing that is not yours, but created by some other developer, but you want to use in their project, in your project. Okay, but now you can't ask for a code base because the code is not written by you, it is written by another developer, but you want to use the code that is written by that developer without exposing their code base. Okay, so API is used to do the things like this. Okay, and if me let me give one example of this so you can understand it in a better way. uh, okay okay, Jay, just I got a message that someone is not admitted in the meeting. Just take care of this thing.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if I give an example of this like that, you are working on one project, and what you want to do? You want to use the login of Google, Twitter, or let's say GitHub. Okay, you want to use the login from there, or you can say the login services of Google, Twitter, or GitHub, but they will not give you access of their code base. Okay, but how you can use their services in your project without exposing their code base is through APIs. Okay, API is used to access the data from a services. Okay, that is not yours. Okay, created by some other company or by other developer, and you use that API without exposing to their code base. Okay, so API is also used in such type of usage of services. That is why it is most important right now that you become API literate, because API is used widely in every aspect of a software development industry, and I can say by all the companies that are related to a software development industry uses API into their daily life. Okay, now let's understand API with one more bit of technical example. Okay, so you would have used Instagram in your life. Okay, I am pretty much sure about this thing. Then what do you do? Now you want to upload a story into your Instagram account. Okay, so what do you do? You open Instagram and you access a camera from the Instagram, take your photo. Okay, now if you are a if you want to bit more fancy, then you also edit your photo, or you can stick a gif or sticker into your photo and publish it. Okay, means post it. Okay, and then your friends can see the story posted by you. Now in this process you have used couple of API. Okay, for example, let's say you are using camera from Instagram, so you are using hardware API, because from Instagram you are accessing a hardware which is a camera. So here you are using an hardware API. When you click a photo from a camera, the photo is redirected to the app. Okay, so it is giving back the photo from camera to your app. Now you want to edit your image, so within this process you will be using one image library API. Okay, so that can be said as a library API. And then you have done edited your photo, you post it into the server where the Instagram has been located. So you are using now a remote API. Okay, because where the Instagram has been hosted, in that server you are posting your photo, and from that server your friend can fetch the story or photo that you have posted from your account. So if I want to summarize it, here you have used three APIs. First is a hardware API which is used to access a camera. Second, a library API to edit an image. And lastly, the remote API to send the photo to the server, or to fetch a photo of your from the server by your friends. Okay, now API is for everything. These are just some of the example of API, but API doesn't limit to this. Many API are there available in the market right now, like the Cat API, Spotify API. You would have used a couple. Some of you have used in your React project or something like that. Then Open Weather API, Twitter, Genius, Facebook. Discord, Google, many other APIs are there already in the market. To use their services in your project without worrying about their code base, okay, or without worrying about writing a code. Now, this is just a short summary of API. Now, what is Postman? Okay, so Postman is a collaborative API development platform. Okay, now Postman is a platform that is not used only to test API, that is used to create API, use API, and to test API. Now, the one thing that is main highlight of a Postman is that it gives you a graphical user interface. So you doesn't have to write any command to test your APIs. You just have to do with some clicks and you can get a better visualization of your API, like how your API is reacting to your things. Okay, you can get a better visualization through it. This is the reason, because of that 98% of Fortune 500 company already uses Postman into their software development lifecycle. Okay, and also to tell one interesting fact here, that Postman was started with one simple browser extension, and recently, a few months back, they have joined the Unicorn Club. Okay, so that is pretty much a very interesting journey of a Postman also. Now, as I have mentioned, that Postman gives you a graphical user interface. So before Postman, what the developer have to do is, if they want to test their APIs, then in the command line they have to type each and every command to see how the APIs is been working. Okay, but for the beginner level of a developer, it is quite a hectic and a challenging task to use a command line in their for testing their APIs. But with the Postman, you can easily do with the graphical user interface. With just clicks and just some command, you can easily get the better visualization of how your API is reacting. Okay. Now, let's get dive into bit of technical topic of request response, and also to mention one thing here, that it is a pretty much hot topic in your interview round. Okay, many HR asks about explain request response cycle, so it is pretty much hot topic in a interview round also. So understand it very with a great focus. Okay, so let's understand the request response pattern, or you can say request response cycle. So again, two things. There will be one client. Now, client can be anything. It can be your browser which you are using. It can be ATM machine, laptop, PC, anything. Okay. Now, there will be one server. Okay. Now, in that server, some resources, or you can understand, some data is being stored, has been stored already, or some services has been stored. Now, what the client wants, or let's say assume that you are a client, so what you want a data that is already been held in a server, or you want to use the services that is already been there in a server. But as we have seen before, client and server can't communicate with each other directly. So what the thing comes here? Yes, it is API. Okay, so API is a hearing point for the server. So what client so in the network or through internet, client make a request to a server that, hey server, I want this thing. Okay, now from the server side there will be an API which will be hearing your request is. Okay, so API hear your request, it process your request, means it understands that what you want through this request. Okay, it process your request, it also do interaction with database, or it can do interaction with other APIs. Okay, and after done all this thing, it after processing your request, it respond back to the client. Okay, means if you are asking for the data, API collect the data from the server or from the database and send the data to the client in form of responses. Okay, so this is a basic request response cycle. Means client make a request to the server which is listened by an API. Okay, API then process the request and send the data that you want in form of response. So you get back the data and now all the things that you want from data that you are expecting can be get to your screen. Okay, now this is a basic request response cycle. Now to understand the request in better way, let's break it into a three different subtopic. The first is a method, okay, second URL, and third path. Now let's understand this all topic in detail. So now let me just switch to my browser and give you some glimpse of a postman, like how postman looks. Okay, so here I have typed www.postman.com. Okay, and also means if you haven't used Postman, then to follow along with me, you have sign in or make account into Postman. Okay, so yeah, it is loading. Okay, let me just get to my workspace. So I am trying to give you the glimpse that I have means the screenshot that I have attached in the client in the slides. I want to understand. I want to give a better understanding of how the platform looks like. Okay, so okay, now coming back to slide. So you can see this some screenshot is pasted here. So let's understand that what this all thing is about. So okay, so this is the screenshot of this area. I have taken a screenshot of this area and pasted in the slide. So here the first thing, don't worry about this all thing. I will explain it in bit later and later part of our session. Just try to focus in this thing. Okay, so what is this thing? Okay, this is the method column. Okay, and here we have selected a get method. Now get method suggest as the name suggests that you want something. Okay, you want something from the server, means you want to get something from the server. This is the meaning of a get method. Now there are also other method like post, put, and here are many method given to you, but basically in most of the cases you will be using get, post, put, patch, and delete. This five will be a basic you can say request that all the project uses, and you more often will be using this the request the method from these uh, five methods. Okay, now this is the tab where you enter the URL. Okay, so this is the tab where you enter the URL or you can say the address or a endpoint URL. Okay, and this is the button from which you can send a request to this URL. Okay, so to demo here, let me just type www.google.com here and send a request and see what we get in return. Okay, so yeah, you can see the response given by the server through API can be visualized here. Okay, so you can see here basically this response the raw data gets to the client. Okay, now here due to the postman due to the various feature of a postman, you can see like pretty formatted thing here. Basically the HTML we are getting a response in form of HTML. Okay, so this is pretty much formatted thing. Now if you want to render this with HTML, means you want to see that how this HTML looks after rendering, so you just click here to visualize. Okay, so preview, just click here to preview, so you can see the Google tab that you often see by typing www.google.com present here. So you can see how Postman gives a better visualization to your API. Now if you just type this command through a command line, then you would be seeing this raw data which doesn't give much sense to you. Okay, but due to the Postman you can get a better visualization of your response, okay, of your API. So here now let's just type a query parameter. And also what is the query parameter? Just give me a 2 minutes, bear with me with 2 minutes. I will explain what is the query parameter. Okay, so just here I am typing query parameter q equal to postman, and let me just send again and see what I get in response. Okay, so now let's understand what is a query parameter. Now you are giving get request, means you are using a get method in your request, means you want something some data. So for example, assume that there is thousand list of a student data present in a server. Now you want to get the list of that student, but you doesn't want to get full list of thousand list. You doesn't want to get full list of the data, but you only want first 15. Okay, first 15 student present in the list. You want that data, their data only. So how you can filter your data if through a get request is by a query parameter. So this is basically a key value pair. This in this request, q is a key and value is a postman. Okay, so basically I am telling a Google that I want to search postman into a Google. Okay, basically the meaning of this query is just like that. Okay, so query parameter is nothing but you want to get filter data. So how you want to get a filter data? That key value pair you have to pass in a query as a query. Okay, so but you see here, I doesn't get a result of a postman. Just postman comes here typed into their search section, but I didn't get a result after which we get after clicking a search button. So what we are missing here, we are missing here a path. Okay, so if I open a new tab, okay, and let me just open Google here. Okay, now let me just type a postman here and see what the thing happen. Okay, so I want to get a result like this. After searching a postman, I want the result that came, I want to get that. So what I am doing mistake is, you can see here the path is been given, like the path is here search, means this is the path where your search requests are being heard. Okay, so this is missing in your in our URL. Okay, that's why we are not getting this result. So let's just paste it into our URL and try again and see what we get in this. Okay, okay. Okay, so now you can see the search result after typing a postman appeared into the preview tab. So now let's just understand all the things with the help of our slides. Okay, so I have already give a overview of where I have taken the screenshot. Okay, now talking about the get method. Okay, so this is a drop down, and when I click you would have seen that when I click to this drop down, many method appeared from it. So basically there will be, as I have said, that there will be 5 method which will be used for you into your daily life dealing with an API. First is a get information. Okay, as a method name suggests, get method means you want to get some information, retrieve some information from the server. So you have to pass get as a your method for the request. Then comes the post request. Now assume the example like this, that there is one form, user fill the form, and when they click a submit button, you want to store the detail of that user into your server. So what you will use, post request. You want to post some data, you want to send information to the server. Okay, now this information can be stored to database or can be for a server to process your request in much better way. So for sending the data to the server, you have to use post request. Now if you want to update information that is already present in the server, or let's say in the database, okay, then you have to use put or a patch method as your request method to update information. Now if you want to delete a information that is already present in the database, then you have to use delete method. Okay, now coming to this part. Okay, so this is basically the address or endpoint URL where your request can be heard by the server through API. Okay, so if I want to reconstruct this into 3 part. Okay, so first, the HTTPS is the protocol used by your request. Okay, in this case it is hypertext transfer protocol secured. Okay, HTTPS. In this place, in place of this you can also use HTTP. Okay, now then comes this www.google.com. So this is mainly the host name, or you can say the domain name of a server. Okay, the name, basically the name given to that server in simple layman language. And then lastly comes the then lastly comes the path. So as we have seen that if I not if I not write this slash search and directly pass the query parameter, I wasn't getting the result that I was expecting. That was to search a postman, to get a search result of postman. So last is the path where your request can be heard and executed. Okay, so now coming to our next slides. So other details related to request, as you have seen, one we have already seen, that is query. Basically understand the query as a, you want to get a data, but you want to get filtered data, or you want some filtration to be processed before the server send you the data. Okay, so for that use you have to use query in your endpoint URL. Then comes the authorization header and body. So let's understand this all thing with postman. Okay, so authorization. So let me also try to give you this explanation with an example. Now let's say you have one portal, okay, in which the user have to log in, and after login the user can get the confidential information. Now this confidential information can't be accessed by any user, but the information will be exposed to the outer world through APIs. Okay, now API is for everyone. Okay, everyone can access API and can get information. So what you have to do, you will define some authorization to the request, is that the request coming from the user, it is the author already authorized to get this information. So if not, the request can't the server can't send the confidential information to that person. If the person is authorized to get the confidential information, then only they can use. So for that purpose, to authorize your API means to see that if the user have already be authorized or not. You can use the authorization section. So from here there are many authorization like bearer token. If you would have used you would have worked on JWT, okay, then you would know about this term bearer token. Then there is auth o1 and auth o2. Many authorization comes that which we can give to the API to see if the API that is coming from the user is it authorized or not. Then comes the header section. So what does this header section look like? It is basically the meta information given to the request, which is used by a server to process your request in much better way. So various headers you can see here given, like cookie, host, user agent. And if you want to know more about this header, just hover on this I tab and it will give that why this header is used or what is the functionality of this header. Okay, basically it is just a meta information sent with a request. Now comes the body. Now if you are doing post request, means you are sending some data, okay, with your request is. Now from where this data get transfer from the client side to the server side, this is transferred through a body section. Okay, so basically with your request there will be attached one body from where your data will be present. Okay, that you want to store in your database, or that is the information for the server that to process your request in much better way. So these are the other three sections which we have looked, like authorization, headers, and body. Now in the body, so as I have mentioned that body is optional, but it is often supplied with post and put. Now, if you are sending a get request, then you doesn't have to specify body, because you are not sending any information along with the request. You just want information from the server. Okay, now the body data are from different types. Like you can send data to the server, okay, from the client side through a body in different data types. Yeah, it can be a form data, it can be a JSON, text, HTML, XML file, GraphQL, and many more. Okay, but frequently you will be using only a JSON data type to send request from a client side to server. Okay, and this is the format of a JSON data type. It is basically a key value pair only, uh, which is written in the curly bracket. Okay, now receiving responses. Okay, now you have sent a request to the API. Now API process API to the server. Now if through API your request has been processed and you would get the data, okay, from the responses. Now responses also have these three main elements. First is the status code. Status code is a code which is used to specify that how your request has been treated. Means your request has been treated successfully. So for the status code of that is 200, okay, means your request has been treated successfully. Then 201 created is a status code which we will get when we post some data, means something gets created, okay. So we get 201 status code in response. Then if the endpoint is not found, the thing which we have entered in that search box, if the endpoint of or address of a URL doesn't found, then we will get 404, means not found. That URL doesn't found, that type of status code. Then you have also would have encountered like 500, which is an internal server status code, and 401 unauthorized, and many such type of status code has already been defined, so that you can get understanding that what happens to your request. Then as you have seen that headers also get sent when we are requesting to the server. So when we are getting a response from the server, then also in their responses headers is already present there. Now the body data, means if you are sending a get request, then server will give you some data in responses. So the data is again accessed into the body of a response, okay. So now, okay, now come we have seen some technical thing. Now theory portion, okay. So now let's just dive into the hands-on session. So okay, so I am just pasting one link that you can use to follow along with me, okay. Yeah. Mm, yeah, okay, yeah, I have sent it into the chat box. So if you want to follow along with me, okay, in a hands-on session, then just paste this URL into your browser. Now if you haven't made your Postman account, then it will first ask you to make your Postman account. So if you want to follow along with me, just do that thing, okay. And also like if you are follow along with me, just type following, so that I can get understand that how many people are following with me, so I can wait for that people to complete their steps, okay. So if you are just following along with me, just type following in the chat box, so I know that if I have to wait for someone or not. Okay, Namya is following, yeah. Okay, Madhav is also following, that's good. Okay, yeah. Yeah, many of the folks are all following with me. Okay, nice. Yeah, okay. So just enter this URL into your browser. Okay. Now you there might be possible that you would have get this screen that I am currently viewing to you, and also now after going to this, just click here basic of API. Just click here basic of API. Okay. So one another tab will open here. So let this tab gets loaded. Okay, and just cancel out this documentation. Now after now make sure that okay, yeah, you can use post method. Yes, Jay, you can use post method to fetch your data, but it is not you can say the industry standard or best practices. Basically, if you want to fetch a data, then you have to use get request only. Also like if you are if you are posting your data, okay, then also the server will respond back to you with some useful thing. Like if you are creating if you are storing the data that is being written by user in a form, then server will respond back to you that okay, your data has been saved. Okay, so you are also fetching that thing from the server, but you are not fetching something like that is already stored in some database, and you want to get that data. For that, post request is not feasible. You have to use get request. Okay. Okay, so after clicking here to the basic of API, just click here the fork option. Okay, now the things can happen that if you aren't logged in or to your account through Postman, then you will not able to fork this. So just make a free account. You will see option to make a free account or sign in. Just make a free account, and then you can fork this API. Now here, if I want to give a basic explanation of fork, so if you have if you have some knowledge about Git and GitHub, and there also we get some of functionality like fork this repository or something like that. It is similar to this. Now this API, this is collection. Okay, so these all are a collection. This is one collection. This is one collection. This is another collection. And understand collection is like just like a folder. Okay, so in that folder, all your request, okay, all your API request is being get stored. Now here you can say that get data is one request that is get stored into the collection known as basic of API. Okay, if now this collection, or you can say the folder that contains API is being not is created by a postman. Okay, is not created by a you. Okay, is created by a postman, and you want to use that API. So what you will do, you will fork this collection. So a local copy of this same similar type of API gets created into your account, and that you can use to play with it, just like we do in Git and GitHub. Basically, in GitHub also you fork the repository. Why you fork the repository? To work on it. Okay, to use it or to manipulate that project. Okay, so you are just making a local version of it. Okay, so after you created your account, okay, or you register for an account, or you are already registered and log into your account, you will be asked to label your fork. Means just to give just to give a name to your fork. Okay, just click give any name. I am giving here API 101 workshop demo. You can give any feasible name that you want. Okay, this is not a thing that it has to be a unique name. Okay, now in the workspace, now you would only be seeing this my workspace only. Okay, now I have created some other workspace means just an isolation area for that collection. Means create one isolation area or isolation environment for that collections. Okay, and collection is as I have mentioned earlier, it is just a collection means just a folder. Okay, so just click here of my workspace. It will be already be there for you if you are making first time registration to this. Okay, and just click here to for collection. Okay, so basically you have in this process you have created the API that is no that is created by a postman, so that basically in this process the API created by a postman, you have made a local copy of that API into your account. Okay, into your account, so that you can manipulate or play with that API or use that API. Okay, so after forking this, you can see here the fork of that API has been created into your account. Okay, so you will be seeing here the my workspace. Now you wouldn't have been seeing this other thing as I have created it myself. So you would only be seeing this basic of API API thing. Okay, now uh, when you want to use something. Okay, so what would be your first step? Okay, or let's say there is one project, now you want to work on that project. So what will be your first step in that project? It will be, of course, to read its documentation, to know that how the things get in that project. So this API also have a documentation with it. Just hover to this basic of API and the name given to that fork. Just click here to the three dots, and you can see one option here which is view documentation. Just click to hit it. Okay, So basically it is a documentation, or you can say the tutorial that we are going to follow along with this lab, okay, with this hands-on session which is given to you. So now if you are not following along with me, and if you want to get if you get stuck in any of the steps, you can take help of this documentation. So basically in this hands-on session we will going to do these four things: get request, post request, put means update the information, and delete request. Now, there are three APIs that we can use for this lab. First is a quote API, second is a joke API, and third is a book API. So I want input from you guys that which API you are willing to work on. Now, let's say if you select a joke API, then I will demonstrate how you can use the joke API, and what you have to do at from your side is that after this session gets over, you can try quote and book API to get your better understanding. So from these three API, what you guys want that I can demonstrate here? You can just type in, okay, books. One answer is for book. Okay. Any other? Okay, joke. Okay, getting more word for joke API. Okay, as current the joke is on upper hand with 2-1 score, so we will go with joke API only. Okay, so in this tutorial, I would explain. Okay, so I would explain you the process of a joke API, and for practice purpose, from your side, after this session, you can follow along for a quote and a book API. And if you get stuck at any point, documentation is given already. You can take help from this. Okay. Okay. So okay now okay, let me just keep our documentation for our reference only. Okay, just I am clicking here for get data. This is the request. Okay, this is the folder in which one request already has been present, which is the request has been named as get data. Okay, so as I have already been mentioned this thing that from here you can select a method, address URL can be typed here, and here you can send the data. So now the if you want to get the endpoint of that API, okay, so this is the endpoint that is given to us, okay, for this tutorial. Okay, so I am just copying this endpoint URL, coming back to my get data request, just pasting here. Okay, and now we are following for a joke API. Okay, so what I want from now is I want to make a get request in which I can get a joke. Okay, I can get a joke, one joke for me. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so here I just want a joke from the server. Okay, so I have just typed the endpoint. This is the you can say the address URL. This whole is the address URL. From this HTTP is again the protocol. Postmanstudent.heroku.com. It is a domain name where the server is present, or you can say the name of that server. Okay, host name, and this is the path where where the request for a joke gets heard. Okay, as we have previously seen for the www.google.com/search. Okay, so I have written joke after this domain name, and just I am sending a request. Okay, and let's just see what get happen. Okay, what we will get in output. Okay, so you can see here below in the responses that I am getting some JSON type of data. Okay, now let's understand what this data is looking like. So it has some ID. Okay, there is author also present here, but NA is written, means no author is here. Then there is a joke, first rule of programming, if it works don't touch it. Okay, and then there is a source of a joke. So what I am doing here, that there is already a couple of joke present into the server. Now I am a client. Okay, so or understand this postman as a client, I want to get a joke that is already present in the server. Now what is the server name? Postmanstudent.heroku.com. So from this server I want to get joke that is already present in the server, or you can say the database. Okay, so what I have done, I have sent a get request because I want a joke. Okay, I want to fetch a data or retrieve information from the server. So I am pasting here a get request to get a joke from this domain. Okay, so now let's say now this joke comes randomly. Okay, so that is not a thing that you will also receive this 3 only. Okay, id 3 joke only. Now if I type a joke, there will be basically 4 joke present currently in the server, and any random joke can be appear. So if I again send the request, I might get to see another joke. Okay, so you can see the joke gets changed here. Okay, I am getting the joke with id 0. Okay, now to get a specific joke. Okay, so to get a joke with id 2, let's say I want to get a joke with id 2. So what I will do, after joke I will again put a slash and just type id of it. Means let's say I want to get a joke of id 2, so I am typing here 2 and sending. Okay, so what I get, I have get the joke with id 2. Okay, so this is the configuration that is set from the server side. So we have to follow along with this information. Okay, okay, let me just see if okay, let me just admit it all. Okay, okay, so where are we? Yeah, here. So what I have done, that I want to get a joke, okay, from a get API, from a get request, but I want to get a joke of id 2. So I have just mentioned the id of a joke from here, and you can see that I am getting in response a joke of id 2. Cool. So this is the get request. Okay, now if you want any joke, just type joke here, or if you want a joke with specific id, just enter id here. Okay, and now to save we can also save this request with a better name. So just click here, and I am giving the name of this request as getting joke. Okay, in saving this request, just press Ctrl S, so that all the changes that has been made by you get stored in this request. So if you come again after some time, then you will get the similar interface. Okay, means you doesn't have to type this URL once again and do the send request. Okay, so just press Ctrl S to save it, and whatever name you feel you are comfortable with, just give that name. Okay, so this thing is done. Now let's just try to post a data, means send a joke from client to the server to get stored in the database. So what I am currently making a new request into this folder, into this collection basic of API. So just click here to this 3 dots, and here you can see the name add request. Just click on it. Okay, so another request that has been created to this folder. Okay, now I am giving a name here. Yeah, you can get as I have mentioned that you can get a different joke after typing joke randomly. The joke comes, okay, out of the 4, so you can get that also. Now I am typing here posting data, or let's say posting joke. Okay, just to give a better name of this request. Now to post the data, what I have to do, I have to select a post request because I am sending a data to the server. Okay, so let me just copy this endpoint URL. Endpoint URL will be remain same, just path can be changed. Like for joke, the path is slash joke. For quote, the path is slash quote. Okay, for book, the path is slash book. Okay, now I have done the post. I have selected post method. Also the endpoint URL, I have given the endpoint URL or addresses for the request. Now I have to send the data. So let's just try and send the data like this only, and just see what we are getting. Okay, so you can see something here. You are getting some of the message that id not sent, param id location body. So what is this thing? Okay, so what are we doing here? We are doing post request. Okay, but we didn't pass any data. Okay, any data from client side to the server side. We didn't pass any data. Okay, so you would have remembered that I have mentioned about this body. Okay, so what is this used for? Sending data from client to the server side. Okay, but we haven't passed anything, so we are getting this message that ID not send ID and something like this. Now in the body, basically firstly the none will be selected. So just select this raw, and from this text just select the JSON format. Means we are getting to send the data to the server in form of JSON. Okay, JSON format, as I have already mentioned, curly bracket. In curly bracket we have to write key value pair. So I am writing all the things like ID 4. Now I would suggest you to don't write ID 4, because if already the data with that ID will be present, then it will also give error that like this ID is already present. So write any random number of ID. It can be 500, 200, 4. Don't just write 20 to 4. After this you can write any number, 99, any. Okay, so ID is given. Now what we have to do, we have to give the name of author. Okay, so just type your name into the author name. Okay, now ID given, author given. Now you have to write the joke. Okay, what is the joke? You have to write this thing also. Also this is a JSON format, so just make sure you doesn't make a syntax in writing this JSON. And joke is that bugs are feature. Okay, that is joke from our side. We are trying to send it to server, and we have to at last also give a source from where we get this joke. So for just this sake, I am writing iali.dev. Okay, where I did get a joke. Okay, now what I will do, I will send a request. Okay, and let's just see what happened. Okay, so you can see the thing that we have got get back into the response. Okay, and also one thing that I have missed here, you see here the status code I am talking about. This you can see here 201 created, means the something gets created after you have passed after you have passed this request. Okay, something gets created to the server. Okay, and let's just see that our jokes get posted to the server or not. So I am again switching back to this getting joke, and let's just pass the ID that we have entered while posting the joke. So I have mentioned I have entered the 4 as an ID of that joke. If you have entered any other thing, then just type that thing, any other ID, then give that into this getting joke at last ID, so you can see that your joke get posted or not. So you can see here our joke get posted. Okay, now we are getting the joke that recently we have posted to the server. So you can see the same joke we have posted are getting from the server to from server to our side, to client side. So we can assure that okay, our post request has been successfully executed, and our jokes gets posted into the data into the database. Okay, also here you can see the status code is 200, means our request get responded successfully. Okay, and here the status code was 201 created, which is a common status code for post request. Great. Okay, so I have saved this request so that I can get a reference to it, or also I doesn't have to write all this thing from the beginning. Now we have done get and post request. Now let's just make a put request, means update a data. So what I will do, I will again create one request into this basic of API folder. Okay, let me just give a name of a update data, or you can say update jokes. Okay, now from the method tag, here we have to use a put. Okay, because we are updating the data. Okay, so I have selected a put, just copy pasted this same URL into our our endpoint URL. Okay, and now we have to update a data. Okay, so also in updating the data we have to send a put request. Okay, we have to send a put request, and along with that put request we have to send the body or the data that we want to get updated. To again going to this body, click row here, select JSON through here, and just type down this all this thing that I want to update the data that is created by me. So just you can also update the data that is created by you while putting your joke. Okay, so I am just copy pasting here, and in this joke section I am giving that box are updated feature. Okay, just adding updated in this word. Now make sure if you are typing down all these things, the id that you want to get updated is given correctly here. Like it should be, if you want to update a joke that is being that you have posted just before, so give the same id to here only. That's why I copy pasted whole thing, and just I want to update a joke, so I have just updated the joke, and the other thing will remain as it is. I have kept as it is, and let's just send a request and see what we are getting in output. Okay, so here we can see we aren't getting anything in output. Okay, so this thing doesn't okay, so this thing doesn't okay, yeah, cool. So the server, from the server side, this thing doesn't even configured. Okay, so now you can be confused that I am not getting any responses. Does my jokes get updated or not? Okay, so to try out that, just go again to this joke request, and just send again to see whether your jokes get updated or as you can see, my jokes get updated. You see here the updated has come, so this request was successful. Okay, and we are getting here server code 204, means the server successfully proceed the request, but it is not returning any in the content. So we are not getting anything in this response body. Okay, but the things already get updated. Now just give me 1 minute so I can give you a better look to the API that you have created. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, yeah, so now all of you would have done request. Okay, but where we can see it, so let's just see all the requests made by you. Okay, so in this type I am typing. Okay, just a minute, I am misspelled here. So this is not a thing that you can follow. This is to give that yes, your jokes get posted. So you can see these four jokes were already present there before. Okay, so at first we are doing any post request, we are doing any get request, we are getting a random joke from these four of you, from this four that is being already present by default. Okay, but these are the you can say that the jokes that is been created by us, like Gaurav has created, Madhav has created, Namya has created, me, I have also created, Hardeep has created. So these are your jokes. Okay, so you can see this thing. Okay, and this is the visual representation that you can get, that your joke get successfully pasted or not. Okay, so we can also if I refresh, if anyone made any new uh, post to that jokes that get featured here. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we have get joke, we have posted a joke, we have updated a joke. Now let's delete our joke. Okay, so again making a new request, just type here just for naming preference I am here giving deleting joke. Done. And now what we have to do, we have to select delete request, because we want to delete something. Okay, now for this thing I am copying just a URL, endpoint URL. Now the joke that you have created should get deleted by you. Okay, so now after this joke, just give an ID of the joke that you want to get deleted. Okay, so I have created ID of a joke 4 that I want to delete. So if I press just send here, the ID of a joke which is 4 get deleted. You can also see in the response that joke with ID 4 is deleted. Okay, and also if I refresh here, my jokes will not be present here, it get deleted. Okay, so already you have done that. Okay, so all the other jokes that you have means if you want to delete, you have deleted. Okay, so yeah, also I want to save this thing, also saving this thing. So yeah, we have getter fetch the joke from the server through get request. We have updated, we have posted a joke from client to the server through post request. We have also updated the joke that we have already pasted, and at last we have deleted the joke. So this is just a small tutorial that I want to give you for handling the API. Now for your work, you can do, if you want to get more practice, just in place of a joke, just try this all four thing, get, post, put and delete, uh, for book and a quote. Okay, so if you want to try out, and you can try that thing. Now coming back to the slide, so just okay, and it out.
So how can we create a new collection over there?
Okay, yeah, so just click here, okay, so just click here new. Okay, if you type a new here, and here you can see the option of collection. So after you have typed a collection here, you have to enter the name of that collection, and new collection gets created. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So just recap all the things that we have done in this session. We have talked about the methods, basically the main four method: get, post, put, delete. Then we have seen what is address is, or that is being entered, or endpoint URL, okay, in the search box. Then the parameters, and especially we have seen the query parameters, that why we use the query parameters. Authorization, to give authorization for your API. Then body data. In this we have seen body data with request and body data with response. Cool, yeah. So now you have some basic understanding of API, and also you have some basic understanding of Postman. So you can also now become a Postman student expert, which I am currently as. Okay, so as a Postman student expert, it suggests that they will provide a badge to you as a Postman student expert, which means that you are proficient in building and testing API, or sending more sophisticated request, editing document, basic test script. Now what is this test script? You can understand by doing this Postman student expert program. Also running collections, passing data query, and also you have a chance to become a Postman student leader after you have become a Postman student expert in your community. So to avail this program, you have to go here. Okay, just I will do one thing. I am not pasting the link here as of now. Whenever the how to securely create, okay, Prashant, for that thing, there will be another session. Basically this was the beginner friendly session, so I am not diving deep into the authorization section. We have to use authorization. Okay, we have to see that each request has been sent with the metadata, with the secret metadata that we are expecting. If the request has been sent with that, then the API has been authorized. Okay, means we can give the confidential information as a response. So I am not sharing this link right now. As soon as the session get over, I will share all the link that has been mentioned here. Okay, so don't worry about that. So from this from through this through this URL, you can avail a Postman student expert, and you can submit your Postman student expert badge. Okay, means they you can submit your challenge, and they will avail you a Postman student expert badge. Okay, now coming to some excitement session for you, that now you have a chance to win a swag from Postman. Okay, so basically there are two challenges that are currently accepting by us. First is a blog writing competition. Means in this session what you have learned, how was your experience, and what are the things that you want to learn, okay, that you have learned through this session. Just make a blog to it in your favorite platform, in whatever platform you like Medium, Dev.to, any platform. And this form link, I will again share this form link into the all the link that I am going to share right after the our session gets over. So in this form link you can submit your blog, and the top two blogs get selected for the swag prizes, okay, that will be sent to you from the postman. Okay, now it can be anything like t-shirt or a hoodie or anything from a postman. Okay, and second challenge is, the first challenge is a blog writing competition, and second challenge is that share your learning in your LinkedIn platform. Okay, now like how did you like this session, whatever you understand from this session. Okay, just a short summary of this, and make sure that you add hashtag postman student into your hashtag section, and also don't forget to tag me so that I can see that okay, you want to participate in this second challenge. And from this challenge, again the top 3 students will be selected to win a amazing swag from a postman. Okay, also I will share my LinkedIn handles at the end of the session. Now, resources, these are the resources that you can use now. If you want to explore more about postman, you can go to the learning center. If you want to get more about API network, then you can then there also a link has been provided to explore API. And if you want to have any doubt and want to discuss, then you can go to their community forum. Okay, so yeah folks, that's all from my side. Now if you have any question, that you can directly throw to us. So let me just switch to back to Teams so that I can get a question for you. And also don't just leave, I have to make one announcement at the end, so just be with us for, let's say, few more minutes. Okay, yeah Hardeep, go on.
From where we can access the batch?
Yeah, I am telling that as soon as the session gets over, in the WhatsApp group, just stay to the WhatsApp group for this day, and after this, the group will be dismantled. So I will share all the link like blog competition, form submission link, and my LinkedIn handles, then that Postman Student Expert program link in one message, from where you can get access to that program. Okay. Yeah, from this, if you have any other doubts, I will just wait for 30 seconds more. Okay, so I am not seeing any doubt from your side. So okay, so before okay, so yeah, that's all from our side. Okay, but just stick to the I want to make one announcement for our next program, so just bear with us with 5 more minutes. And first, and thanks for coming to this from this session. I hope that you would have learn something new in this session. And also don't forget to fill the feedback form. Again, I will share this link along with all the links that I have been prepared right after this session gets over. So don't forget to share your feedback to us, so that we can get to know that how you like the program, or what things we can improve from our side. Okay, so now